Hey everyone, this is Nikachu, Merfolk Master, and we are here playing Mono Blue Merfolk in Modern. Before we get into our match, we're going to thank our sponsor, themanabase.com. And if you want to find out if the Rules Committee of Commander is ruining the game, go check out James LePage's very interesting article on it on themanabase.com. In his article, The Meta Worker on themanabase.com. Your home base for everything Magic the Gathering. So we have a hand of lands and spells. Ether Violet's all great. Keeping it. My brother's out. I'm on my own. Gonna do the best commentary I can. Doing it solo. Like the Star Wars movie. You're streaming solo. I'm gonna call you Solo. Our hand looks pretty decent right now. We're up against a polluted Delta. This could be a lot of things, but it's probably... just Death Shadow. That being said, I'm going to play the Silvergill Adept right now. Like Polluted Delta just screams Death Shadow to me, which means they don't have Spell Snare in the deck. A good alternative would be to play Relic here, because they really need their graveyard. Okay, Bolt, so maybe this is Grixis control? Thing in the ice. Alright, so control nonetheless. Some sort of control. So we got our Fairy Conclave, I think here. Well, I could play Spreading Seas and the Relic. I do want to play Spreading Seas just to hit the red mana. If they don't have any more red mana, then to hell with them. I guess we'll Spreading Seas first to see if we draw a Mutavault, because I would rather play that instead of the Tectonic Edge. We don't get it. Play Relic. And there's a lot of... Okay, so this is just like this sort of, I don't know, blue-red thing in the ice control. And what they do is they have just a bunch of sorceries that they're going to want to play in order to remove the counters from the thing in the ice. So at their upkeep, I'm just going to Merfolk Trickster this thing. Preventing it from being able to use any counters. So if you want to play Sleight of Hand or Serum Visions, well, it's not going to be worth anything. And they have no red mana, so that's good. I think I'm going to keep this on 2. Cast spells. I can't remember how many counter spells they have. I guess I have some. Oh, they got Remand. That's okay. No big deal. Oops, what did I play first? I played a Master of the Pearl Trap. Okay, so now they know that I have a Master. Whatever. I played this one. This is the one that got remanded. I probably don't even need to play Master of Waves, to be honest. Okay, so now they have 4 mana available. Keep this thing on 2. I don't even think I'm going to... Well, okay, maybe now I'm going to try to play Master of Waves. Get rid of the Remand. So we have Tectonic Edge in place, which means we can blow up the Steam Vents. See if they let us attack. Tap all creatures, draw a card. Okay. I do have the option to activate Fairy Conclave and attack, but I really want to blow up this thing. I don't see any reason to leave it on the board. We're gonna have, like, winning mana next turn anyway. I saw, like, we're gonna have, like, we're gonna have lethal on our next turn anyway if they don't play a red source. I didn't think about it, but I probably should have put this thing in play on my turn to just play around Electrolyze. We're going to keep this on 2. Okay, I'm going to put a stop here. Tap all creatures, draw. Okay. So now we're going to get in some damage, when otherwise we would not. Desolate Lighthouse doesn't really matter very much to me. Jace the Mind Sculptor also doesn't matter very much to me. Do you find an instant speed card? Sorcery would be fine too, but then I can, like, Merfolk Trickster at end of turn. I guess it's really hard to attack the Jace in this situation if they have it, whatever it is. Spreading Seas, not bad, not bad. Okay, so we're going to attack... I guess we're going to attack Jace. If we attack our opponent and it fails, or doesn't matter. I was, like, concerned about a bolt, but a bolt doesn't do anything because the bolt would just bounce everything back to my hand. Just attack our opponent, I guess. Attack for 10. It looks like we have nothing to lose. If they play if they play something at instant speed, then this triggers, everything bounces to our hand. Anyway. Take our opponent off red mana. Play the Lord. And now they better Cryptic like crazy. We have everything that we need in our hand as well. Desolate Lighthouse is shut off. Okay, everything's back on. Everything's back online. Merfolk Trickster this thing, just buy us more time. And now you see why, you know, Relic of Progenitus doesn't look so silly. Does not look so silly. Can deal with those Snapcaster Mages that are going to want a Cryptic Command back again. I wonder, are we going to go for it? Maybe we're going to go for it. They didn't even look for red mana. That's interesting. One more mana? What's going on here? Snapcaster Mage. Huh? They lose. They forgot about Fairy Conclave. So, for anyone who doesn't believe in Fairy Conclave, well, Fairy Conclave just won it for... Well, unless they have some bounce spell that I don't know about, like Boomerang or something. No, then they just... Okay, so I guess they realized they just screwed up. Or they don't have another red source to go get. They didn't want to get the Steam Vents, because, like, Floodstrand can't find Mountain. Do you know what? I don't care. I don't care. Nikachu MTG playmats are finally here, featuring the iconic Bunny of Waves. We've also teamed up with Dragon's Lair to bring you Master Your Waves and Bunny Guide. Pick up yours today at inkgaming.com by following the link in the description. Moving on. Hey, was I exiling cards from their graveyard with Relic? I don't remember. I don't know their list very well, so I don't know if Gutshot is appropriate, because it can kill Snapcaster Mage, but it kills Vendilion Click, and sometimes when you know they have Vendilion Click, you want to be bringing in, like, even one Gutshot can make a big difference, because late in the game, that's when they play that Vendilion Click, and you don't... I mean, we do have some answers. Okay, forget it. You know what? I mean, we don't need it, because we do have answers in the form of Fairy Conclave and Smuggler's Copter, but if you're not running those, if you don't believe in Fairy Conclave, because it just won us our game right there, because like I said, control decks are like 20% of the metagame, Fairy Conclave, you want them. We're definitely going to bring in Deprive, we'll bring in the last Relic. I don't think we need Tectonic Edge, it's not mandatory. Like, I know Spreading Seas helped us that game, but I'm still siding them out. We're going to keep Repeal, because that's something that you can, in response to removal spells, you can bounce things to your hand. Tectonic Edge might be fine to keep Spell Pierce alive. But what would I take out? Something like... Smuggler's Copter is too good. Maybe the fourth Relic is not mandatory. Graveyard is not super important in this matchup. It's important, they have a lot of Snapcaster Mages, but 4 Relic is just overdoing it. I think Spell Pierce is very good. Repeal is good. Okay, we're just going to go with that. So we took out the Spreading Seas for Deprives. We're going to play that slow, patient form of Magic that I'm known for. That I love. Alright, this sounds good. Our opponent mulligans. We're in the driver's seat. Oh boy, that's a reason to have Gutshot. I tell you what. But that's also a good reason to have, what's it called? Relic. Or even Tidebinder Mage. We have all the answers. They're all on the sideboard. What to do about this bugger? Can't bounce it back to their hand. We don't have Harbinger of the Tides in the deck. We're just gonna have to play patiently into a position where we can play Master of Waves with maybe a few creatures, and hopefully that's good enough. We're just not going to expose our creatures at the moment to this Grim Lavamancer. We do have Repeal, so we can repeal it back, and then try to deal with it on the way back down. Well, I don't know. We'll see how this game turns out. Okay, I'm gonna bluff with this Aether Vial on 1. It might encourage our opponent to play an Electrolyze or something. It does not, so we'll just take our turn. I don't mind trying to bluff with Aether Vial on 1 when my opponents have very spell-heavy decks. So Jace the Mind Sculptor can come at any time, so we're going to hold up Deprive. We can play the waiting game too. I love the waiting game. There is some chance that we can exhaust the Grim Lavamancer as well. Like, I can attempt to Merfolk Trickster here. And they'll eat it, for sure. But then we can attempt to, try to dig through this thing. Okay, so no more graveyard. We have too many lords in our hand. I'm going to keep this thing on 2. That's a good draw. That's a good draw because now we can take our Ether Vol up to 3, up to 4. Or we can even coordinate something where we get both the Ether Vials on 2. And then in response to a Grim Lavamancer activation, we try to protect. Is that something worth doing? Let's try it. Let's try it. So first this one, no. This one, yes. Okay, Merfolk Trickster. So that could be another card to exhaust our opponent's cards, or exhaust our opponent's graveyard. So far, our opponent is playing a lot of lands. So this is going... Okay, so this Lightning Bolt going to the Merfolk Trickster. It's going to still tap the Grim Lavamancer. Then maybe we can get 2 things in play at the same time. And we'll see how that works out. And if our opponent does something like Anger of the Gods, okay, sure, do that. You would kill their Grim Lavamancer. Spell Pierce is losing a lot of value, though. I have to fight over something. I'm not gonna fight over this. Alright, keep eating up my creatures, even though it's like really good value for you. Alright, we're gonna move up to Master of Waves now. I'm tired of this. A second Grim Lavamancer. Interesting. So you have to eat this thing, or I could potentially protect it in the future. And the Spell Pierce is pretty officially dead. I don't mind the situation, though, because this Master Wave should be good. He'll be invincible. Alright, let's get in for some damage while the shields are down. Oops, hold on, cancel. I'm at my beginning of combat step. Again, situation's not too bad. Graveyard is getting exhausted. Like, sometimes you can just grind through Grim Lavamancers like this. I don't mind a land here. Allows us to play Deprive and Spell Pierce at the same time. So if they were to play like Jace the Mind Sculptor and Remand on the same turn, well, I can sort of beat that. Well, that's funny. Okay. Take 2. Pass the turn. If they're gonna Cryptic my Ether Vial back to my hand, I would gladly let them do that. We're just gonna play Lord of Atlantis and our Master of Waves in response to all this. Because the graveyard's empty, so they can't kill the Lord of Atlantis right now. And pass. So they can kill the Lord of Atlantis now, but who cares? I just got this Master of Waves with all these tokens. What is this, Blood Moon? Oh. Do you know what? I think that's a big enough deal that I'm willing to deprive this. It's card advantage, it's annoying. Like, it dismantles my my attack. My opponent just told me good games. They had enough. They had enough seeing all this rubbish on the board. Master Waves is too much. 2 Grim Lavamancers looks good, but you know what? They had a lot of land drops, not enough actual spells. Too bad. Well, we did see some victory out of Fairy Conclave in game 1. I know there's a lot of people you don't feel like Fairy Conclave's necessary. Look, we were about to attack with this Fairy Conclave. It's necessary. You need these things to turn the corner against the control decks, and this is just going to be one of many control decks out there. This is like the easiest control deck, but there are ones much harder with Field of Ruin that wipe out all your Mutavaults, and you need to be prepared for those control decks. And it helps against Mardu Pyromancer and other attrition-based matchups like that. So this was our second round with Mono Blue Merfolk. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. This has been, we're going to thank all my patrons supporting me on Patreon, and we're going to thank our sponsor, themanabase.com. This has been Nikachu playing Mono Blue Merfolk in Modern.